Hi there guys, Tony here from Caveman Props. Well, I've got an interesting tutorial for you today. Obviously with the lockdown currently in place, it's a bit hard for people to get out, so obviously I'm looking at different projects that we can do and I can show you to show about. It's a little bit of a recap. If you're regular to the channel, quite a few years ago I did the Boba Fett style helmet here, obviously the Mandalorian style. With the new series of the Mandalorian being out, obviously it's made a sort of a resurgence of people wanting the helmet. So I'm going to run through, because when I did that video quite a few years ago, I'd already built the helmet and just took pictures, so I didn't do it step by step with you, I just talked through it. So I'm going to do it today. I'm going to do it with a little bit of a twist, because I'm going to do we're going to make two different style helmets. The other one is I'm going to be working with somebody else. So I've got a special guest coming in to help with the video. You may, if you're regular to the channel, you may have heard me speak about them before. I'd like to introduce you to my daughter. This is Freya. She's going to be helping with the video. So what we're going to do is we're going to build an adult's helmet. We're also going to build a child style helmet, and Freya's going to help me build that one. So we're going to run through that with you on the video. So we hope you enjoy. Please give us a like, please subscribe, and we're going to crack on with the tutorial. Okay, so this is the template that we're going to use. It's a template I used before. You can find them quite easily online. For the grown-ups one, I scaled the side bit here to 5 inches, and for the kids one, I've scaled to about 4.5. So only half an inch can make the world of difference in this. And then all you need to do separate to that is we need to draw a circle on a piece of foam, and I've already done that. So that's here. For the kids one, you want to do about 10 inches across. The grown-ups one I've done about 10.5. So sort of show you the difference in the two sizes there. Okay, so they're the two bits we're going to need. So we're going to work on this first. What we're going to do is we're going to heat this. Remember, we're going to make the dome in one piece. So I know a lot of people like to use the strips and build the dome. I like to build it in one piece, and you can easily do this with a circle of foam, the heat gun, and a strong bowl. So we're going to get that on with that now. Right, so Freya's got her protective gloves on. It's just heating up the foam. Try not to get it too close. Give it a turn. Turn the foam over. She's wearing her protective gloves just to help her, because the foam will get very hot. What we're going to do is just keep heating this up. That's it. Keep going. Turn it again. And you start to get the foam very pliable and working. Okay, and what we're going to do, while that's still heating up, I'm going to bring the bowl in. Right, I'm going to take this off, take it away. Right, Fred, pick the foam up, place it in the bowl.
Like that?
Yep, and we're going to push it in the middle. Can you push a bit more? Is that nice? Oh, try and get it nice and even. Like that. So we make ourselves the dome, and then what we're going to do is leave that in there to cool down.
It smells.
Yes, it does smell a bit. It's the smell coming off the burning foam. So we're going to leave that to cool, and then once that comes out, that should give us the dome in one piece. Okay, Fred, do you think that's cooled enough? Yep. Do you want us to take it out and see what kind of dome we've got? So there we go. So we've got your dome. Nicely done in one piece, if you can see that on camera. So that's there. Should we get my one out?
Yeah.
See what mine's like. So I've used a slightly bigger bowl because obviously I need a slightly bigger head. But there we go. Mine's a little bit misshaped, but there we go. So that's that. So we're going to work from the dome now. We're going to work on your one. I'm going to get it right. So what we need to do now, Freya.
Mama?
Yep. So you need your dome. Right, we're going to add the bits to the side here, but because we've curved it the way we have, we've got an edge now that sticks out at an angle. And what we want to do is we want to put the bits on it so it sticks straight. So we're going to have to sand this bit down, or trim it off. So you can, if you want to use a box cutter like this, on with that blade, or you can use a Dremel sander and sand the edges down, just so you then get it flush, so we can work on it from that. So we're going to get that sorted now, aren't we? And then we'll work on the faceplate. We're moving on to the face mask. As you can see, what we've done here is we've used the template comes basically as a half. So we've cut it like that and then put that back on there. We've added a little bit in the middle here. This is just to reinforce it while we're making it, and I've added a little bit to the ends as well. Just to be safe, it's easier to have more on and cut it off than it is to try and add it on later. So again, you're going to need to put your gloves back on. We're going to heat it again. So quickly. Let's get the kick in. Yep. Once it's all heated up nicely, from there you'll see it seal the foam up. Right, turn it over. Turn it over. The other side.
Oh, I can see it.
Yep, not too close because it will burn. There we go. Turn it one more time. Also heating the cutting that up a little bit. Not too close. And what we're going to do is I'm going to take this. Well, when it's heated up, we're going to roll it up. Okay. So take that off. Under there, we're going to pick the foam up while it's warm, and we're going to roll it like this. You need to hold it firm. Okay. Yep. And we try and get some of the bend into it. Obviously, while it's hot, it will be very. We bend it over far, and then when it cools down, it will ping back a little bit. Okay, look at that. So it kind of has a bit of bend in it. You can always bring that back when it's added on. But that's quite good there. So that's kind of the area we're going for. Like that. Right, so for the back plate, obviously we have this template again, so we do it the same. Basically flip it over, and I've added a little bit extra to the sides here. Now on the back, we're supposed to have kind of like a little air vent bit that goes on the back. So I've measured that out. I basically this is for the kids one, so I've come 2 centimeters in from the bottom, and then made it 8 centimeters long. So we've got that bit. So I'm going to cut that out. What you can do is, I know some people use a smaller foam and create like a vent shape. We're going to cut our vent shapes into this and heat it up to get it to that shape. So I'm going to cut this out and then show you that bit. Okay, so we cut this back bit out, and obviously to do the vents, so what I've done is I've created these little triangles on here. I've measured them out, and then using a sharp scalpel, all I'm going to do is I'm just going to score in the foam a little bit. This will all become apparent in a bit. So we're just going to do that down, and then I've left a little bit at the top, and we're going to add something extra to that. So what we're going to do for this bit is we're going to make a couple of marks, and for that we're going to use the rotary tool. I've put the small sanding drum on it, and Freya's going to have a go at this. So we're going to put it on, and she's going to put it down flat onto the piece of foam. Yep. There we go. So she makes these little rigid marks in there, and then what we're going to do is, if we step back a minute, take that out. Using the heat gun now. Heat gun him. Yep.
Just warm it.
We heat it up. And what should happen is where we've made those little marks, it should start to open up. Okay, so what we've done is we've glued that back in, but only part way, so it just sticks out a little bit at the bottom there. So that's going to create the air vent in there. And then Freya wants to come back in, so we're going to reheat this one again. This time the whole bit. Hold it. Going to hold it. That's it. Higher up. Shouldn't need to do this one massively, it should just need a bit of a heat. We're using pretty decent foam here. So, that off. Okay, and then you pick it up, and we're going to curve it again. So you want to keep it in that kind of shape. Yep, a little bit like that.
Still warm.
Yep, will be warm. And then you just have to wait for that to cool down a little bit. And then that should keep its shape a little bit more. So let go. There we go. So it has a bit of the curve in it. I'm going to hold it for a little bit longer, I reckon. Just like that, just for it to cool down. And then that has the shape, and then perhaps we can start a little bit of the assembly. With that, yeah?
Yeah.
Good. Okay, here we go.
Ooh, it's got my thumb marks on.
It's fine, we'll work with that.
Pretty thumb marks.
Okay. Right then, so we're going to move that to one side and see what we can get together.
Yeah.
So we're going to start our first bit of assembly. What we've done is we've found ourselves what we're going to call the front. We found the front bit and lined that up. So we've got a line up and then worked out how far that's going to go round and marked it on there so we know how far to put the glue. So what we're going to do is we're going to use contact cement. I'm going to have a go at this. So you're going to put a thin layer.
Very thin?
Yep, on that bit. So you want to work your way round from there to there. And then we're going to do the same on this and wait for it to dry. Right, you need to make sure it actually stays on.
Okay.
So it needs to be a bit more like that.
Okay.
And then if we need to get more in, we will. Dip a bit more. So we need to get it coat like that. Okay?
Okay.
So you have a go at that. Added a nice thin layer of the contact cement all the way around. Okay, now what we're going to do is obviously we want to line these bits up. Once they're dry and this glue makes contact, it should stick virtually straight away. That's what we're trying to avoid with this bit. If I move your head back a little bit, so get that to stick all the way around. So that gets the faceplate on there. We're going to need to bring those bits back out again, but I can sort that in a minute. And then basically we just need to do the same again with the back plate. Get that on the back here, but because we made it all a little bit wider, we might need a bit extra to it. Well, that should be, actually, I think, pretty much perfect. We might need to add a little bit extra to that. So we're going to get the back end on and then have a look and see what we're doing with. So there we go, we've got that all on there. We were a little bit out with our measurements, but we've managed to stick a bit in there. It's not going to be too bad because we're going to have more stuff to go over the top of this. This is all going to get covered up. So all that's left now is we're going to sort out the visor bit, and then the details go over the top and the cheek parts. So we're going to get on with the cheek parts, and to do that we're going to use the little bit we cut out of the template. So when we cut this bit out, we had the cheek part there, so we keep that bit, and what we do is we just draw a curved bit out of here and cut that out, and then cut from the corner to there, and that gives us part of our cheeks to do here. And then what we do is we move them onto foam, but I'm going to explain to you, we just need to change it a little bit from this. So we put it on and we do the line down the back here. This line we come about halfway. Then what we do is we pull this bit out a little way, keeping that corner still in, draw that and then line them up. So we want a little bit extra on here, but as long as that lines up and that lines up are the same measurements as these, that's fine. And then we do the same with this one. So we put this one in. You want that curve to be exactly the same across the bottom. We come up halfway there and then pull that out just a little bit, make sure that's the line, and then join it up. Okay, and then obviously do a reverse of that. And then what we're going to do is we're going to cut these bits out in the 5mm foam. And to do that we're going to cut this in a particular way. because we want it to join in at slight angles, we're going to be cutting, this bit's going to be straight, but when we come to cut this bit, we're going to angle the knife, so we just bevel inwards that way, and the same with that one. But when we come to do this bit, because we want it to join that one and stick outwards, we need to then bevel outwards instead of coming inwards. So that one we go inwards to it, and this one we come outwards, so we have a bevel bit coming out. And then the same with this one, so these ones will be beveled inwards, and this line will be beveled outwards. So we're going to cut these bits out now that way, and I'm going to show you how we do that. So when we come to do this bit, the bevel, put our ruler in to give us a straight edge. So to keep the knife straight, we want to just bend it slightly out, push the knife in, keeping it at that same angle, and come across. Okay, and then obviously these ones need to go inwards to it. So we're going to do the same again. Best if we just keep turning it so we keep angles going the same way. Now obviously we can't use the ruler with this one, so we have to kind of keep the knife. So I'm using a nice thin blade. Let me angle these bits around as we cut. So there. So once that bit's out, you can see there. So we have the bevel running outwards there, and these bevels come inwards. And that is so that when we come to the helmet part, cheek, when this goes in, it will bevel and stick inwards a little bit like that. So when it goes in, and then obviously the same the rest of the cheek part, and then we'll have the bit there. But we'll get those bits all cut out and get it all together, and we'll show you how that all goes in. We've contact cemented these two pieces. Now Freya's going to have a go at connecting them. So out there. So you're going to connect the very tops first. You've got to line these bits all up. Got it?
Yeah.
That's it. And then you've got to hold it together just a few seconds.
3, 2,
that should
1.
See, and then that's stuck like that. Okay, and then we're going to do the same with this one again. So there we go.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stuck.
Okay. So once we've got those together, we'll contact cemented inside the helmet, and Freya's going to get that bit in, starting in the top corner. So you want to get this bit in. The angle that went in quite nicely, didn't it?
Yeah.
Right, and now we're going to work our way around this. That means pulling this bit round
Okay.
and starting in the back corner here. And we've got to work our way around like that. Yeah?
Yeah.
Right, let's finish off that last little bit. Yeah, that's cool. That's starting to look right now, isn't it?
Nice.
Yep, and then we're going to do the same. You're going to have to do the same with this one, and then that's going to bring all this faceplate out into the right shape. So get that one in. A little bit more flat like that. Yep. A little bit out in this corner. The problem it starts to stick straight away. Okay. Now, try doing this corner bit. So you have to pull this round and hold this up.
Okay.
Okay. That's it. Start there where your thumb is. So you push it in there. That's it. Brilliant. We've got a little bit of contact cement on the outside, but that's not a major problem. You see, there we go. It's pushing the faceplate out and starting to make that look more like the Mandalorian.
Cool.
To finish off the cheek parts, what we're going to do is we're just going to get just a normal straight piece of foam. We're just going to line that up, get that into the roughly about the right shape. We're just going to get a pen, draw that in so we know where that's roughly going to go, and then that's going to get glued in like that. We're going to do the same for both sides and get those bits put in nicely, and then that should finish off the shape of the helmet. So we've got those bits in, a little bit over the top with the contact cement, but that's in, and that's now really starting to look like a Mandalorian helmet. So what we're going to do now is we're going to do work on the faceplate and the visor. So for that we've gone back to our template. We've drawn it out again, this time in 5mm foam. We've not had to do the bit going across the middle. So that's going to go round the outside, but then what we're going to do is use that to hold the visor in. So I've managed to pick up this sun visor, it's quite large, and we're going to use that for the visor. So the bit that came out of the middle, when we cut that 5mm bit, I've used that kind of as my template. So we're going to use that and cut this out here. I've made it a little bit wider. I'm going to cut that out. Freya's quite excited by this one in hers because it's got like a bit of a rainbow effect. So she's loving that idea. So we're going to cut this bit out to be the visor, and that's then going to stick in. And then this will go over the top to seal that in as it goes round the helmet. And then so she'll have a proper screen in there that she can see out of. So she's really excited. So we're going to get this bit cut out, get this on the helmet, and then show you how that's going to stay in place with the faceplate. So we've put contact cement all across the front of this, and we basically tacked the visor down into the right place before we put the faceplate on. But what we're going to do is I've taken the template again and I've trimmed it down just a little bit. I'm going to put this on, and then we're just going to use a little bit of masking tape. We're just going to tack that in before we put the faceplate on, so that once we spray it, this will be there to protect, and then we should just be able to peel this off out from underneath it. So we're going to get this on now and then get the faceplate on. Okay, so there we go. So we've got this new faceplate on. That's going to cover all of that bit up. We've masked the visor off. That saves me having to try and go in over masking tape. I was a little bit off, so I just stuck a bit of masking tape in there, but that shouldn't be, that'll make life easier. Once it's spray painted, I can just pull on that, get that bit up and get it all down. So we're pretty much there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do one more bit. So we're going to do something a bit like the faceplate, which is just going to be a strip here and then a long thin strip that will run around the back, so it will hide this seam up. So it's just going to have a ledge a bit like that running all the way around, and then we're going to have the kind of like the ear details to add on to it, and then the build for this is then pretty much done. So we're just going to get on with this back bit and get Freya to stick those bits on, and then we'll start with the coating and painting. The last bit, well, second to last bit we need to put on is going to be this bit, which I've already cut out for her. This is going to go on the back section around here, so it's going to hide all this bit up on there, and then hide this seam up we put the top, so that will go all the way around and join to there. So I've marked off where we need to put the contact cement, so we're going to do that. Get this bit on, that covers all this up, and then it's just the ear sections, which I've already cut out here, and using the sander we just smooth the top off. So those are going to go and then cover that seam up. So we'll get those on as well, and we should almost be pretty much there. Okay, so there we go. So we've got the side bits on that's covered up the seams there, and we've got the ear pieces on straight there. So this is now ready. We're going to coat this with a thin coat of latex, and it's going to get primed, and it's going to get sprayed up, and then hopefully we can add the final finishing painting details and unveil it all. Okay then guys, we've had a bit of an issue with some of the bits of video, so we've lost a couple of steps that we did in between, so I'm just going to talk you through what happened now. We've finished the main bit of the helmet. I've got the latex out, and I brushed it with a couple of coats of latex, and then I sprayed it with a plastic primer. Freya picked out this wonderful purple. She really liked the purple colour, so we sprayed it with the purple. And because she also likes unicorns, we got a little unicorn stencil, and we've done a unicorn as like a little symbol up there for her. You know, who says you can't be a badass bounty hunter and still like unicorns? And when she'd done that, I left her with the brush, and we did some dry brushing where we can see it around the edges here in the gold. She wanted this in rather than doing like a silver, so it's almost like the helmet is gold and then it's been painted purple over the top, so we've had that little bit of wear in there. I think that just really defines these edges. So we've kind of done that all the way around, and what I'm going to do now is we're going to see if we can get this off without destroying here. I'm going to try and... It was all set up to come off, so it should. I might have to peel it off in sections, get the tweezers out, and perhaps a knife, because I think it's dried the paint a little bit there. So we're going to try and get this off, and hopefully that should be the helmet finished. All I'll have left to do is put some padding inside to fit it to her head. Okay, so there we go. So I managed to get that off. I had to go around it with the scalpel just to loosen it. It did pull up a little bit here, so I just had to put a little bit of contact cement in there, let it set, and then pushed it back down. It's dried. So there we go. So the visor is looking quite good. It's given it that little rainbow mirror effect, which I think goes really well with the fact that she's got the unicorn on it there. So all that's left now to do is to put the padding on the inside, and then she's ready to wear it. So there we go, guys. That's all finished now. What's that like? Is that good? Try it on. Okay. How's it feel?
Brilliant!
Brilliant! There we go, guys. We hope you've enjoyed this video. Please like, please subscribe. You can hit the little bell button to get notifications when there's a next video up. And hopefully we'll see you in the next video very soon. What should we build next?
The armor!
Oh.